Hi, today we're going to continue our tripod and head review series and we're going to take a look at this Manfrotto Ballhead. So let's see what it can do. Just over a year ago, when we were getting ready for Photokina 2016, we received a large number of products from Manfrotto. One of them was the XPro Ballhead, which has been around for a couple of years now. We have been using it ever since, and that is the product that we are going to review today. The XPro is a kind of a mid-range ballhead. It comes in two flavors. The first is an RC2 type base, which is what we have been using, and the second is an Arca Swiss style base, which is a bit more expensive. Let's start with the build quality and design of the XPro Ballhead. Most of the head is made out of metal and feels pretty solid, although we have discovered that the knobs and possibly the security lock are made out of plastic. We would really like those to be made out of metal, but that will probably increase the price of the unit. The head is about 12 centimeters tall or about 4.5 inches and weighs about 500 grams or 1.1 pounds. It has a max load of 10 kilograms or 22 pounds, although with front heavy lenses we would not dare push it anywhere close to this number. However, for most normal setups it should be perfectly fine. The head has angle markings on the lower part, which is a nice feature for shooting panoramas. Another helpful feature it has is dual bubble level, which is really nice and a bit uncommon at this price level. The head also has three knobs: a pen lock with a half-wing design, a larger ball lock also with a half-wing design. Both of these has ratchet mechanisms, as well as a smaller friction knob. On the top you have a base plate which comes with a single RC2 plate. As we have mentioned, there is also an Arca Swiss version of this head which we didn't test. We truly love RC2. We feel it is the best all-around quick release system in the industry, surely for stills, but we find ourselves using it for video as well. You can check out our video comparing RC2 to Arca Swiss at the end of this video. With the XPro Ballhead, Manfrotto decided to change the original base design of the RC2. Do keep in mind that the plate itself is the same and any RC2 plate will work with this head. We tried. What they have done is to create a different type of security lock. It seems to be made from plastic, we're not 100% sure, and to be honest we really prefer the original RC2 based security lock design, which is easier to use with one hand and just feel more secure to us. You can remove the base plate from the head and put the older RC2 base plate on, but you will lose the useful bubble levels, so we would probably suggest against it. Let's talk about actually working with the head. We used the XPro Ballhead on countless shoots over the past year or so on both tripods and monopods and even on a slider or two, and it always worked great. You really do need to be careful not to drop it with those plastic knobs, but other than that it is super easy to operate and basically fun to use compared to many other ballhead designs that we have tried in the past. We especially like the small friction knob. Some might think that there is nothing special about it, but sadly most ballhead manufacturers go with a much more common and far more annoying internal screw type friction control, which we simply hate. All you need to do here is turn the friction knob, which moves and clicks, and you get more or less friction. Much more convenient than trying to turn a tiny screw with your nail every time you want to change the friction on your ball. If this was up to us, we would probably add numbers instead of dots to the knob just so that we can always go back to the same settings. So let's try and conclude this quick review. Despite not having any fancy high-end bells and whistles, we keep finding ourselves getting back to the XPro Ballhead. When you need a quick and simple way to stabilize your camera and have a good control over it, the XPro Ballhead just does the job. The knob's design is not complex, but it works. We especially like the friction control. This is almost the exact design that we would like to see in every ballhead, and for whatever reason almost no other manufacturer uses. The XPro Ballhead, like almost any other product that we have tested here in the past, also has some drawbacks. As we have mentioned, the knobs are made out of plastic, and although they are user replaceable, we do recommend caution when using them. A fully metal version of this head with the same design, even for increased price, could be a great idea for Manfrotto. We also prefer the original RC2 based design, as we have mentioned. We find it more intuitive to use and more robust than the new one, and we prefer the tiny security lock of the original base over this new push-down lever lock. Minor drawbacks aside, for $150, the Manfrotto XPro Ballhead is a fantastic product, and in some respects we find it to be significantly better than much more expensive heads, especially when it comes to the simplicity of operation and particularly for controlling the friction level, which we find to be a sore spot for a lot of ballheads, including high-end ones. So that was our look at the XPro Ballhead. You can read the full review on lensvid.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel when you can find more videos like this. See you next time.